Hello, how are you doing? I'm Rachel from I Printed That, and I'm bringing you a Cyanotype workshop this morning live as part of Medway Print Festival. I'm going to show you how to create these basic photographs called cyanotypes. They're a little bit sciencey, a little bit arty, and to misquote Henry Ford, come in any colour as long as it's blue. Now, if you're wondering what on earth I'm going on about, I don't know where do I get these cyanotype papers from, then don't worry, you haven't missed out entirely, because I'm running this workshop all over again on the 17th of July. So if you'd like to have a go yourself and to receive a ready-to-use cyanotype pack, go to iPrintedThat.com, find the workshop tab, find the cyanotype workshop that I'm doing in July, and then click and you'll be able to book on. And just as a little thank you for watching this video today, I've put a 30% off code on my website. So when you go to the checkout, put in the voucher code MPF21, that's M for Medway, P for Print, F for Festival, 21, and you'll get a 30% off. So that's the 17th of July, so if you book on today, then you'll be able to use that code. So a few others have joined now, that's lovely to see, hello. So the first question I would like to ask you is it sunny where you are? Because it really isn't sunny in Medway. We've had a most awful downpours for the last couple of days, but how can you make me jealous? Well, let me know if it's sunny where you are. Let me know what the weather's like where you are. Let me know where you're printing from today. That would be absolutely amazing. So the next thing that I want to do is to double check that you've got everything on your equipment list if you're printing along today. So you should have your mysterious black envelope that arrived on your doorstep this morning. Either a clip pad, it's not the right word, clip frame, or something like a piece of cardboard or MDF, a piece of Perspex acrylic or something that you can see through, some bulldog clips. You'll also need your leaves, your flowers, your petals, whatever you're going to be using to make your image, and also just a bucket of cold water or access to a tap so that you can wash the prints out. So the first part of this needs to be done in the shade, because as soon as you take the cyanotypes out of the envelope, they will start reacting with any UV that's coming through either the windows or is outside. So be in the shade if you're managing to print in your garden, or if you're in a room, then just make sure the curtains are shut. So while you do that, I'm just going to pop you down and I can start showing you exactly what to do. So here are some cyanotypes that I've done previously, and I just want to share them with you so we can think about the design that you might like to do. And also I'll talk about what works really well. So these are petunias. I've just laid these across as they kind of fell, and these give some great photographic prints, almost like an X-ray. So the petunias work really well. They're white. Bindweed, although I don't think it's quite out at the moment, or convolvulus, they work extremely well. Weeds are amazing. This one is a hop vine, so again I've just laid it on, but because the leaves are a bit thicker, then the sun doesn't penetrate as well, sort of some of the UV penetrate as well with the petunias, but that gives you a nice solid print. You could maybe make kind of a botanical type print. So I've got here the flowers and the leaves and the seed heads all of one plant. You might just want to scatter your botanical features on. So these are honesty seed heads. They make absolutely beautiful prints. Again, kind of with the petunias, some of the UV gets through, so we get these beautiful X-ray like prints. Again, here's another one where I've just simply scattered the seed heads at random. These are the seed heads of salsify. you might want to go for more of a landscape print. So here I've got just some grasses. Grasses make gorgeous ones too, and as they twist, as you lay them down, you can get some great effects. This one's just a very simple solid print that you might like to go for. I think it's the leaf of an honesty plant. So again, quite a thick leaf so that the sun doesn't get through, the UV rays don't get through at all. Another single print here, that's taken off of one of my palms, one of my house plants. Another single one. And you might be noticing as well that these have got varying colours of blue. So we've got some really deep indigo blues, we've got some kind of lighter denim blues. And this is dependent on the amount of sun or UV rays that is getting onto the paper. So if you're in full sun, you can absolutely do this today. If it's a bit cloudy or quite overcast, then you can do this today. It's very overcast here today, and I've had a couple of cyanotypes developing or exposing in the sun sort of since about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and they've worked pretty well. So you will get a print today if it is cloudy, but I would say that if it's raining, to hold onto your cyanotypes, keep them somewhere dark, somewhere cool, somewhere dry, so like a cupboard or a drawer. The bottom of a drawer is perfect for this, and then use them when the sun comes out again. So here's another one. This was done I think in October, so I've got the seed heads of the wild clematis or old man's beard, and you get these really milky blues, so it's gorgeous to see the different types. So you might want to print today, you might want to print on another day as well to see the different blues that you get. So another idea for a design, 3s or odd numbers work really well. You might just want to place 3 or 5 of your botanical objects onto your piece of cyanotype paper. You don't have to use botanical objects either. So these are glass Victorian bottles, which I think always work really well. Again, I think some were green, some were blue, and you get differing variations of blue and the UV rays sort of penetrating through to the cyanotype paper. Again, fabrics work really well, lace, string, sort of very open weave fabrics like Hessian, chiffon works well too. And you might even decide that you just want to make some cutouts. So I've got some paper cutouts here of some minis, and they work well too. So hopefully that's given you some ideas of designs. So now, how to do it. So as I said, make sure that you're in the shade, and for this bit you need to get your piece of card or the back of your clip frame. You can now take your paper out of the envelope. So I said, make sure you're in the shade or in a room with the curtains closed. Lay the paper, just smooth it out, and then you can start adding your botanicals. So with all the horrible weather that we had, some good to come out of it, because I found these this morning on the floor. So a little bit early really to get sycamore seed heads falling, but I think these are going to make some great prints. So what I'm doing, I'm just making sure that I've got quite a lot of negative space, because you don't want to pile everything on top, because then you won't get much definition between the different each piece. And I'm going to add a leaf as well from the sycamore tree. At this point too, don't add bits like twigs, just simply because you need to make sure that the perspex or acrylic, whatever you're using, makes contact with the botanicals and the paper. So twigs aren't a good idea, because that means it will be raised up. So once you're happy with your design, place your perspex on top. push it down and then add your bulldog clips or pegs, or if you're using a clip frame, then put the clips back in. So I've got 4 bulldog clips just to hold it down, and I'm making sure that I don't put any of the bulldog clips over the actual Sinotype paper, because you will end up with a bulldog clip mark. I learnt the hard way. So that now needs to go outside in the sun, if it is sunny where you are. So if you're in full sun, then exposure time is anywhere sort of from about 10 to 20 minutes, and you'll get those really deep blues. If it's a little bit overcast today, then you're probably looking at about 40 minutes to maybe an hour, and you'll get these more kind of denim blues, or possibly those milky blues that we have here. As I said, if it is raining, then please just save the Sinotypes for another day. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes just to put those outside. And while I do that, I just want to tell you a little bit about Sinotypes. So the Sinotype means blue imprint, cyan meaning blue, type meaning imprint. And they're a basic form of photography that uses 2 chemicals which do sound rather alarming. The first is potassium ferrocyanide and the other is ferric ammonium citrate. But they're very safe to use. One of them is used as a food additive and another one is used in blood testing kits. And they're safe to use, you know, if used properly. And when they're mixed together, they become very, very light sensitive. They were discovered by the astronomer Sir John Herschel in 1842. But it was his friend Anna Atkins, who was a botanist, who used to illustrate her findings, and she thought that she could possibly use the actual botanicals. So she used seaweed, algae, ferns, and other types of plants to in her research, and she thought that she could probably use this to create photographs, and she's actually known as being the first person to produce a book that contains photographs, and they are still around today. So that's the brief history of Sinotypes. So what I'm going to do now, if you're back in the room or if you've managed to put your Sinotypes in the sun, I'm now going to show you the next step, which is fixing. So bear with me a second while I just grab my bowl of water. I'm still here, don't worry. I just needed to get the Sinotypes. And make sure that's where you can see it. I'm just going to put this up slightly. So here's one that I've had on the go since this morning. So as I said, it's very overcast here today in Medway. And I put this out about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then brought it in probably about 9:30. So it probably had about an hour outside. And then all you do is just remove the clips. If you're not sure if your Sinotype has worked, you could do this and just slightly move things over, and you'll be able to see that there's a contrast between the background and where the leaves and flowers were laying. Oh, and I can already see there's the sun hasn't got quite the way through here, so I'm quite excited about these. So take it off the board, dip it in the water, and then you're just going to rinse out the chemicals. So this paper is designed to get wet, but just be gentle with it. Remember, it is still paper. I'm just washing out the chemicals. The chemicals in here will be so diluted, you won't come to any harm. But if you do feel you'd like to, please do wear gloves as well. It's then a good idea to run it under the tap until the water runs clear. I haven't got a tap up here with me, so I'm just going to show you like this. So just wring it out and gently unfold it. I'll move my bowl so you can see it clearer. Put that on a piece of white paper. So this will continue to develop over the next 24 hours as it dries. So these areas that are light blue will become lighter, and the areas that are this dark blue will darken up over time, over the next 24 hours, to look more like the prints that I showed you in the beginning. So if you are printing today or sort of over the next week or so, I would love to be able to see your designs. Because this is online and not in my studio, I don't get to see your beautiful prints. So if you could do me a massive favour please and send your photos. If you're posting them to social media, then please use the hashtag #IPrintedThat or tag me. And also, if you could please use the hashtag or the @Medway Print Festival, and then we'll be able to see your beautiful prints and to share them with everyone else. If you've got any comments from today or any questions, then please do let me know. I will go through after the workshop and try and answer all of your comments, just in case I missed something. Or if you just want to say hi, that would be absolutely amazing. So thank you ever so much for joining me for the workshop today. It's been a real pleasure sharing with you how to make Sinotype prints. I hope the sun shines on you wherever you are today, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.